Let's say it's between like $5,000 to $10,000. Getting someone to spend that with you, it's totally possible for someone cold to come in inquiry-wise and book with you. However, sometimes people struggle with converting those inquiries to that core offer because there is a high level of trust that you need in order to purchase $8,000 worth of value from somebody.
Man, it was so great to work with you. You're amazing. If your clients tell you you're amazing, but you still find it really hard to sell to somebody who's not yet currently a client, this is going to be helpful for you. So if I was to ask you the question, is it hard for you to sell your core offer? Like when you get somebody on a call or you send somebody a pricing guide, how confident are you that they're actually going to say yes to your big wedding package or your big brand campaign package, your top package for social media management? Is it difficult to sell your core offer? If the answer to that is even remotely yes, if you could raise your hand to that, which it probably is. We had a call 2 days ago with a bunch of creatives and we asked them, hey, put up your hand if this is difficult for you. And almost everybody put their hand up. If that is you, we're so glad you're here. You're in the right spot today. We're going to be breaking down the idea of an offer pit stop framework, which is how you sequence your offers in the right way. It's kind of like a smaller offer, your big offer, and then a kind of a longer term offer. How do you sequence your business in that way with what you sell so that it makes taking people from stage to stage to stage of working with you a lot easier? So if that is you, so glad you're here. I'm Joey.
And I'm Christy. And Joey and I collectively have over 20 years of experience in the creative space, both in the wedding and the brand space. So we are creative business owners ourselves. And we have this podcast that we release episodes weekly to share what we're learning, share tips, tricks, things that we found helpful for this community so that you can also get paid to do what you love. So we're so glad you're here. We're stoked to talk about this. We have a few announcements before we jump into it.
Yeah, this is going to be really great, guys. We're pumped with this. Like I said, we ran this a workshop on this topic the other day, and we're just going to break down a piece of that today for you guys. And people just loved it because it is a real problem.
Yes.
So cannot wait to show you what we're going to be talking about. I'm actually going to be drawing some stuff out on this iPad. So if you're not watching visually, that's okay, but it's helpful if you are watching visually. Hit us up on Spotify. You can watch it there, or on YouTube. You'll be able to see what we're actually drawing out. But yeah, a couple quick, super fun announcements before we actually get into the pod. So we are on 7 years this summer of running Creative Rise, and we are on episode 300 in like a couple weeks from now for this podcast, which is wild. So that's over 6 years of podcasting basically every single week, which has been an absolute blast. And we gave away an iMac last time we hit episode 200.
Episode 200,
Shout out to Hannah, right? Is Hannah?
Yep.
Hannah got a free iMac from us. We sent it to her. She's stoked. She runs a photography business. She's a wedding photographer. And we thought, what could we do for episode 300? That would be a really fun giveaway. And so we went, well, why don't we give away a camera? So we asked our mastermind community, hey, which camera do you think we should give away between the Canon R6V, the Sony a7 IV, and the Fuji X100 VI?
And everyone disagreed.
Everyone was disagreeing, of course. You know, you got the Canon people fighting with the Sony people, and the Fuji people are just hanging out saying, we're better anyways, like, you want the Fuji. And then somebody said, shout out to Victoria. Victoria was like, why don't you just give away the option for someone to get one of the three? So you let them pick. And we said, that's
Victoria.
Brilliant, Victoria. You're
so smart.
Women are such the superior race. So great idea. So we decided we're going to do that. So today, the day this came out, we just launched on our Instagram. If you go to our pin post, a giveaway for episode 300, where all you got to do is follow the steps in the giveaway, and you will be entered to win either the Canon R6V, the a7 IV from Sony, or the Fuji X100 VI, which I think might be my favorite.
And it's so easy to enter. Literally, you just go comment which camera you want and tag a friend.
Yeah.
And if you want to share it on your story, great. It's easy.
Yeah, so make sure you go do that. That's exciting. And then after that, the other really exciting announcement is that actually on August 19th, we are bringing back the 10K per month creator workshop. But this time it's different, okay? Mm-hmm. We've always run these for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of creatives, hundreds of them on the workshop at the same time. And this time, Christy and I had the conversation and said, what if we listen to a little bit of the feedback and we make it smaller, simply, and actually do it on, this is more technical, but we always did it on the platform on Zoom where we're just talking to all you guys and you guys can interact via chat. We're actually just going to run a normal Zoom call for 50 people on August 2019.
Faces and everything.
August 2019. August 19th.
Yes.
And it's going to be great. We're going to be teaching you how to actually build better offers and change your pricing, how to dial that in for the rest of the year and for next year. We're going to dial in your lead gen so you can know where your next client's coming from. And we're also going to be doing some sales demos, so helping you understand how to sell better as a creative. And only for 50 people. Cameras on. We're going to have you coming off mute. I mean, it's going to be a full-on workshop experience. So if you want to get a spot in that, which We always have hundreds of you guys join us for those. We're only taking 50. Run to creativerise.com/workshop. We literally are only going to take the first 50 people. So go there, link in the description of this pod. You can get your spot, and we'll see you on the 19th. We can't wait to do it. And so, yeah, fun giveaway, super fun giveaway. Make sure you enter that, and then go get your ticket for the 10K per month creator workshop on August 19th, which is going to be great. So I'm pumped.
Awesome.
It's going to be a fun next 2 weeks. But hey, when's the giveaway end?
The giveaway ends in 7 days. So next Wednesday, giveaway is donezo. So make
August
sure
12th.
you go and enter right now.
Yeah, August 12th. Tell us what camera you want. All right, here we go. The offer pit stop. So going back to the problem real quick. The problem is you get somebody on a call, you send off your pricing guide, and you know you do great work. Maybe this is even a better way to say it. Once somebody actually does hire you and they pay you and then they work with you, you deliver, they come back and you say, man, it was so great to work with you. You're amazing. If your clients tell you you're amazing, but you still find it really hard to sell to somebody who's not yet currently a client, this is going to be helpful for you. So I noticed this problem early on in my career as well, because I'm over here trying to sell, headlining films and different brand story videos, brand campaigns for outdoor brands and photo packages. And a lot of those were, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $12,000 offers. Yet it felt like when I was pushing a $10,000 offer to a company that never worked with me before, they were really reluctant to work with me. And I think you probably can understand that. You probably agree with that. Now, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It happens quite a bit, but it's so much easier if you have some type of an offer sequence where people can start to see and build trust with you on a smaller scale, so that when it comes time for them to need your core offer, it's a lot easier. So we're going to give you some wedding examples of these and some brand examples, which is super fun. But I first want to show you. So here we're going to jump into the iPad real quick. I want to show you what it looks like to actually understand the full offer pit stop. So we've got an actual tool that kind of builds this out for you inside of the Creative Rise Mastermind, but I'm going to show you this little snapshot image. Hopefully you can understand what it looks like here. So the offer pit stop is basically, imagine your business is a flow, or really business in general is a flow of clients moving forward on a highway. And your goal is to get people to get off the highway and get off on your exit and stop and spend some money with you. And then they get back on the highway and keep going. Well, the good news about that is, and we always joke with this, is you don't have to make your clients come out of nowhere. Like, they're already driving past you in your everyday life.
Exist.
It's important you just come up with a good offer sequence, so they want to get off the highway onto your road and start doing business with you. So the first thing, in order to actually get them off of the highway and onto the road, is you need some type of an on-ramp offer, which I'm going to put right here. An on-ramp offer is simply, what does it look like to build trust with somebody in a smaller capacity, so that once they need your pit stop offer, which is like your core wedding package, it's your core brand campaign package, it's your core social media management package, your pit stop offer is like the thing you sell. It's the big thing you sell. If you could sell one thing throughout the year, this is your core thing. And then you get over to the hotel, which is, what is an offer that actually makes them stop and stay a while? Is it some type of recurring offer, a monthly offer? Is it something that you do, on an annualized basis for brides that used to, that you shot their wedding for, some type of gift that comes every Christmas for their mother-in-laws? Like, what is the hotel offer? But we're not talking about the hotel offer today. We're just focusing on the on-ramp offer and how it leads to the pit stop. So, Christy, give me an example of a pit stop, and then give me an example of how a wedding photographer would struggle to get people there because they don't have an on-ramp.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say you're a wedding photographer and you've got a $8,000 8-hour package. That's like your core offer. That's the thing that you're wanting to sell over and over again. Let's say it's between like $5,000 to $10,000. Getting someone to spend that with you, it's totally possible, right? It's totally possible for someone cold to come in inquiry-wise and book with you. However, sometimes people struggle with not only inquiry and flow, but also converting those inquiries to that core offer, because there is a high level of trust that you need in order to purchase $8,000 worth of value from somebody. So let's say your pit stop is your 8-hour package for $8,000, okay? On-ramp offers, you don't want to, here's what I want to differentiate between an on-ramp offer and a pit stop offer, however. Some people are like, oh, well, let's say my pit stop is like an $850 engagement session. Like, let's say like that's what I do all the time. I shoot couples. I don't do a ton of weddings. That's my pit stop offer. A lot of people will go, oh, well, I'll just do a mini session as my on-ramp offer. It's basically the same thing, but shorter. That is not an on-ramp offer, in my opinion, because that is the same offer, and
it's
people oftentimes
competing.
It's competing offer.
Yeah.
And so now people will use the on-ramp as the pit stop, and then they will just leave. So we don't want to do that. We want to go, what's something adjacent to my core offer that I can do for people to either pay for or it's free that introduces someone to my business so that then they want to spend $8,000 with me. So for wedding...
And the biggest thing is that it could be paid or it could be free, but it has to build a substantial amount of trust.
Yes.
So that they then look at your pit stop offer and go, oh, yeah, Christy gave me that thing, or Christy shot this with us. And yeah, it was smaller, but I so trust her. I saw her process. I saw how knowledgeable she is. I maybe saw some client experiences or case study stuff that made me just go, yeah, working with her on her core offer, her pit stop offer, it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
That's the goal of the on-ramp.
So on-ramps can be a bunch of different things. And it was cool because we had this workshop with our mastermind this last week where we were talking about this with all of our wedding photographers and brand people. And so a couple different options that you can do is obviously the normal ones. Engagement shoots, couple shoots, proposal shoots. We have a girl up in Vancouver Island who is like getting known for being a proposal shooter. Like that is like her thing. And then she sells them on wedding packages after. It's a great on-ramp offer, which those things are all paid. And those are more traditional on-ramp offers. However, what a lot of people are doing that is very successful right now is offering different guides, different ways for people to interact with them, maybe even free calls where you're talking about timeline prep, things like that, almost like consultation style, but a lot of different guides. So like, for instance, Haley up in Vancouver Island also runs the Ultimate Vancouver Island Guide. And it
She's
basically
got a guide
gives
she built
you
that's beautiful.
It gives you every great vendor in the area. If someone's traveling and getting married there, here's everything you need to know. All the best DJs, all the best videographers, all the best, people and who you should go
Places
with and venues
to stay,
and
places
everything.
to elope.
It's
got
so much
everything,
information.
the
It's
rules,
so valuable.
Everything locally you need to know.
Exactly. And she runs that as a freebie offer. So she'll run paid ads behind that. It gets people locked in. They get the email, and then she can nurture people towards the core offer. It's a great on-ramp offer that's free. However, I think that there is a world in which charging a small amount for those types of guides, not to make money, and this is the main thing, not to make money. Your on-ramp offer is almost like, in some ways, a loss leader in some ways.
It's like
it's
a
just
Costco
getting
chicken,
people...
like a pre-made, what's it called? The rotisserie
chicken?
Yeah, absolutely. Or a hot dog. Both of those.
A hot dog. This is your hot dog offer. But basically, it's to get people in. So maybe you want to cover your ad spend with charging for a guide for like $9 or something like that. And it gets people, again, used to spending money with you. And it's easier for someone to spend $9 with you to then go spend $8,000 because they have the on-ramp offer.
Yeah.
So you can do different guides, different calls, different shoots, smaller little tastes of working with you. And again, it just builds that trust and leads someone towards a sale.
Yeah, 100%. So super important because, again, if you try and take somebody, let's just draw a little customer here. Okay, that's not a very great drawing of a customer. Put some arms on him right there. But if you try and take him or her all the way from here to here right away, and you don't stop somewhere for some type of an on-ramp offer, it can work. You can sell people
absolutely.
that way. But the odds of closing as many people as you would like on this $8,000 offer without having some type of pit stop over here on your on-ramp offer are much lower.
Yeah.
It's going to be harder to do so. And your sales window, this is something that is a great thing to talk about. Your sales window, meaning from the time someone discovers you to the time someone becomes a client, your sales window will often be longer if you don't have some type of a pit stop offer.
Yes.
Okay?
So I was going to say, if you're just relying on your organic social content to nurture someone towards an $8,000 sale, it's going to take a lot longer than if you just do an on-ramp offer that's really low ticket and easy. That will speed that person up to get to the pit stop.
Yeah. Totally.
Why don't you talk about brand?
So yeah, let's jump to the brand space because the brand space is very similar to the wedding space. You've got very high ticket stuff. In some ways, a lot higher ticket than the wedding space, right? I mean, the highest wedding we've ever shot would be just over $10,000. Probably what? Like for the package, not like the travel or something like that, but just for like a package of like what are we actually taking home in terms of profit from this wedding? Where you and I have shot campaigns that have been like $20,000 photo and video campaigns, which is like that's what's coming to us. So like the brand space can be much more expensive than the wedding space if you're in the right offers and with the right clientele and the right industries. And so it's very important that you have good on-ramp offers. So again, let's say, Christy, give me an example of a pit stop offer that we would use in our business for the brand space.
Yeah, let's just say it's like an $8,000 seasonal campaign, 30 images, a few reels, $8,000.
Okay.
Before production expenses and all that stuff.
So let's say 30 images, like 5 reels. Yeah. And then let's say it's probably going to be, you said $8,000.
Yep.
And that would be the lowest that we'd probably do for something like that.
That'd be like
typically
a little
in the industries
seasonal
that we
campaign.
work in. But that's then probably going to have another like maybe 3 to 5K of, expenses.
Yep.
That are, models, all that stuff.
Yes.
How do you get a brand to spend $13,000, $15,000 with you for a seasonal campaign? Well, it's probably not them just randomly finding you one day and saying, hey, we have a $14,000 check with your name on it. Can you do this? That does happen, but that is a waiting game of I'm just going to wait till something like that happens with me. So how do you get strategic and actually push people through some type of a trust pipeline with a on-ramp offer that's going to make people trust you a lot more? So right off the bat, let's cover stuff right off the bat that's going to be free up top. What could you do for free that would help build that trust? And then we're going to talk about a couple things down here that could be paid, okay? So free right off the bat, one of the things that I love doing this, especially with really high value clients. If we're going to have a client that I know is going to be spending over $10,000 with us or over $20,000, and especially our clientele that is either locked in on like large retainers for the year or large rebrand projects, we're shooting a bunch of different stuff, helping them literally rebrand the whole business. And those are $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 jobs. If we're going to do that, I love giving them free on-ramp offers. And the reason why is because I keep them focused on the pit stop and I say, hey, look, if you guys need a little bit of this, let's just jump on a call. Let me help you figure that out. And I like to actually do some stuff for free because what it does is it shows my interest in working with them. And most importantly, it shows how even like a 15 to 20 minute conversation with us can really unlock some really good aha moments in them, in their thinking and how they view things. And they go, oh gosh, like if we spent 15 minutes with Joey and Chrissy and they just helped us unlock this or think about this differently, wow, what would it look like if we actually engaged with them for a year, right? Yeah. So free, right off the top, you can have things like simple consultation calls or strategy calls, okay?
Yeah.
So if someone inquires with Christy and I through spearscollective.com, which is our agency today, they're going to book a discovery call where I'm going to walk them through a set of problem-solving questions to really diagnose what's happening. So we would call that our discovery call. This is free. Okay? Free, nice and easy. If I can get somebody on a 30-minute discovery call, the odds of them being willing in the next 30 days to then spend $8,000 minimum with us goes way, way, way higher than just having somebody on my website try and jump straight to an $8,000 campaign, right? Incredibly high, okay? Another free thing you could do is you can put together guides, as we talked about up top. Guides that really break down, if you're in the brand space, maybe it's a guide. Great example of this, Owen. Shout out to Owen Rossi. Owen put together I think it was a VSL or it was a guide, and he ran ads to it and said, hey, if you're a brand, here's 5 or 10 top performing like content strategies you should be doing if you're in this industry or this industry. So of course, as he's advertising that, people are seeing that, thinking it's just a piece of advertising, but it's actually his on-ramp offer. They're jumping into that guide or watching that video and they're going, dang, this is really good. This Owen guy is really smart. We should consider working with him, right? So that's another really, really easy one if you're in the free space right there. Another one is a teardown or an audit, okay? So a teardown is when you would turn on, some type of screen recorder and you would go through and literally tear down what they're doing and break it down and go, here's where you could
roast them.
Yeah, a very gentle, nice roast. But you could say, hey, here's some opportunity. Here's some opportunistic spots where you could shift this about your bio, shift this about your content. I would change this about your 3-pin posts. I would actually try and include more of this type of content because all I see is studio shots of the product. Like you could send somebody a Loom video, which we do all the time. That's a massive part of our like sales and pitching process. It's actually our on-ramp offer. Because again, even though it's free, if somebody can spend 7 minutes with me on some type of a video audit where I'm auditing something for them, if they find that valuable, which is what I aim to do, the odds of them, again, spending $8,000 go significantly up, which is really, really cool. So let's talk about some paid stuff. So getting somebody to an $8,000 product, if you want to run a paid route, paid routes are probably going to look like smaller versions of your core offer, but they aren't smaller versions that are going to compete. They're not smaller versions that are going to compete. So the other day on our mastermind call, when we talked about this with a bunch of people that are in the mastermind, one of the questions that people asked, they said, well, how do I make an offer for my on-ramp that doesn't feel like it's just going to make somebody pick that instead of working with me on my core offer?
Yeah.
So if somebody has a $5,000 core offer, photo campaign, how do I make something that, is not just going to be like a $2,500 version that someone just goes, we can get away with that.
Right.
We needed 30
just
images,
some less
but
images.
we can get, 18 images for $2,500. Let's just do that and we'll just stretch it and we'll find a way to make it work. You do not want them to compete. So a good example of that is if this was my Pitstop offer right here, the $8,000 offer, 30 images and 5 reels. What if I had a company send me some product and I did a two UGC campaign, 2 UGC video campaign, and let's say that I ran that for $399. Okay, so I ran it for $400. Cheap. It's not that expensive. We are actively doing this right now. Christy and I are both like doing random UGC videos this month for a blanket brand that you really love that like all the girls are obsessed with right now.
It's true.
I'm doing this with a nose strip company that if you're anywhere on the face of the internet and you've ever Googled a nose strip company, you might have seen this ad with my face on it because they're scaling them like crazy right now.
I'm going to be doing one with a blender company. Actually stoked on that.
And we've done this with actually a collar company for this sleepy dog right
here. That's true. Right
dog.
Here.
And what's great about these small UGC offers are Christy and I UGC creators full-time? No. We want to focus on these bigger campaigns. I don't want to get stuck up on just like doing something for $150 or trying to hustle somebody when they're trying to get me to do it for free and just give me products. That's not what we want to focus on. But a good UGC piece or a little small campaign is a great on-ramp offer though, because you can show them your process, treat them like a real client, show them your creative process, show them how strategic you can be, deliver on time, and have phenomenal communication. And then the odds are, if they love the content, they're going to come back to you. And then what happens? You say, hey, I'm so glad you love those UGC pieces. Here's my next idea. Yeah. And what do? You pitch them this offer right here, okay? So a UGC small campaign is something that Christy and I are literally actively doing, and we've seen that work for us, okay? You can do a paid content audit. So similar to how we did the audit above, this can be a paid content audit, but this can be more in depth. This could be like an hour content audit. Maybe it's a live content audit. Kim, shout out to Kim. Kim's in the mastermind. Kim is doing these. She's doing paid content audits where she's sitting down for 60 minutes with prospective clients. It's like her easy on-ramp offer before somebody signs her on for a retainer to create for them every month. They often go, hey, Kim, let's sit down for 60 minutes. We'll pay you the whatever it is, a couple $100 for the hour. And she will run them through a bunch of different stuff and audit all of their content, which is really, really phenomenal. And then we've got stuff like a, smaller type of campaign. Let's say your normal campaign against 30 images. Maybe it's a 5-image campaign with 1 reel. If someone needs 30 images and 5 reels, 1 reel campaign with 5 images is not going to replace that. Those things are not going to compete, okay? So let's say 5 images, and let's say 1 reel. So I hope what you're seeing here is nothing over in this section right here is competing with this. They are solving different problems. They're solving problems at different scales. So no one's ever going to need this and settle for this. Okay? Same thing up here with the wedding stuff. No one is going to take this and assume that getting a, guide from somebody or a small hour couple shoot is going to replace an 8-hour wedding day. So it's really important your offers and your on-ramp offers do not compete, but it's really important though that all of your on-ramp offers clearly show how working with you at a higher capacity and a higher scale at your pit stop offer right here is a smart idea. And when you can link these two things properly, it is much easier to take somebody in a normal sales cycle of like, instead of it taking 8 months because they're just sitting and watching what you do, watching for that next case study, and finally they're willing to reach out. That can take years sometimes. Where this, get them on something within, a month of knowing who you are. Try and get them on one of your on-ramp offers, and that will much faster get them over to the pit stop offer and have them assuming, yeah, Christy's the type of person we should work with. Let's hire her for the full thing.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, guys, I hope this was so helpful. This seriously can change the game when it comes to clients being hesitant or feeling like it's just hard to get through to people for your pit stop offer. Utilize on-ramp offers. Like, we cannot tell you how successful this has been for us, for people in our community, and that you can do the same thing too. If you really loved this, if you loved this very like workshop-y style that we did on this episode, you join us for our 10K per month creator workshop on August 19th at 2:30 p.m. PST. It's only $9. So that's like, honestly, we were saying like, that's like 2 coffees. I was like, no, in a city, that's like one coffee.
One coffee these
that's
days.
Like 1 coffee. So come join us, bring a coffee, hopefully not a $9 coffee, and join us as we workshop inside of your business when it comes to your offers and pricing, your lead gen, and your sales. The 3 things that cause a lot of growth in your business that you need in order to hit 10K per month. So August 19th, go to creativerise.com/workshop. hit the button description, or you can go to Instagram and just DM us hit 10K, and we'll send you the link to register there.
We'll make sure you get that
Only
spot.
50 spots.
Only 50 spots, and we typically have about 300 people on these calls. So if you're interested in that, literally go do that right now. But last but not least, guys, let's just give you a little checklist. We'll send you home with this for today. Your on-ramp offer is going to be good if, number one, it solves a real problem they actually have. It can't solve a non-existent problem for them. No one's going to be interested in that. Number one, it has to solve a real problem they actually have. Number two, it has to build a substantial amount of trust. It has to show your process or show how great your communication is. It's got to build a substantial amount of trust that they would then look at your core offer and go, yeah, we want to work with them. And number three, it's got to be something that easily sequences to your next stop, which is your core offer. If you can make it really solve a problem, it builds a ton of trust, and it makes total sense why someone would get that offer, work with you in that smaller capacity, and next thing, they're now working with you in your core offer. That is when you know you've got a great offer sequence, and specifically your on-ramp offer is really solid. So we might be talking even more about this and way more stuff, better stuff on the workshop. So again, make sure you get there. 10K per month, Creator Workshop, creativebrowse.com/workshop. And don't forget, go to our pin post right now as well. You might be winning a Canon R6V, Sony A7 IV, or the amazing, the beautiful Fuji X100 VI. So, guys, hope you're doing great. It's great to see you guys. And the cicadas are starting to scream at us here. So we're going to shut this thing down. See you guys next week.